Have you ever walked into a room full of things to say and stories to tell, only to feel like a ghost? You speak, but people look past you. You text, but the blue checks stay cold for hours. You're nice, you're polite, and you're reliable, yet you're the one person nobody seems to remember 5 minutes after you leave. It's a crushing feeling. It's the feeling of being invisible. But here is the hard truth that most people are too afraid to tell you. Being ignored isn't a stroke of bad luck, it's a psychological result. Attraction isn't a mystery, it's a biological mechanism. And if you're being ignored, it's because you're accidentally triggering the ignore response in the human brain. In the next 10 minutes, we are going to stop the ghosting once and for all. We're going to dive into the dark and light corners of behavioral psychology to understand why you're being bypassed, and more importantly, how to flip a switch in your brain and theirs to become magnetically unavoidable. Forget just be yourself. We're going to show you how to be the best engineered version of yourself. So why are you being ignored? Most people think it's because they aren't attractive enough or rich enough. Wrong. The number one reason people get ignored is something psychologists call the approval-seeking frame. Think about it. When you really want someone to like you, whether it's a date, a boss, or a new group of friends, what do? You lean in too much. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You agree with everything they say. You become a yes man. In your head, you think, I'm being agreeable. They'll love me. In their subconscious brain, they hear, this person has no internal value. They are looking to me for their worth. This is the attraction paradox. The more you try to be magnetic, the more you repel people. Why? Because the human brain is evolved to value scarcity and autonomy. When you seek approval, you signal that you are low value and abundant. You are a commodity, not a prize. You are the elevator music of social interactions, there but totally forgettable. We also have a biological BS detector. When you try too hard, you create cognitive dissonance. Your words say, I'm a great guy, girl, but your nervous body language says, please don't reject me. That tension makes people feel uncomfortable, so they simply walk away. To fix this, we have to look at the hard coding of the human brain. There are 3 specific psychological laws that govern magnetism. Robert Cialdini, the godfather of influence, proved that humans desire what is perceived as rare. If you are always available, always texting back in 2 seconds, and always willing to change your plans, you are, psychologically speaking, worthless. Magnetism requires a barrier to entry. People don't value the air they breathe because it's everywhere. They value the diamond because they have to work for it. Evolutionary psychology tells us that we look to others to see who is valuable. This is why the most popular person in the room keeps getting more popular. If the group ignores you, the individual brain assumes there's a reason for it. To be magnetic, you have to project the energy of someone who is already wanted by others. This is why confidence isn't knowing they will like me. It's being okay if they don't, because I have other options. Here's a curveball for you. Research by psychologist Elliot Aronson found that people who are too perfect are actually less attractive. We find perfect people intimidating and unrelatable. The Pratfall Effect shows that high-status individuals who make a small mistake, like spilling a coffee or making a self-deprecating joke, become infinitely more magnetic. It shows they're real. This is the dark part of attraction. Why do we obsess over people who are hot and cold? Because the brain releases more dopamine when a reward is unpredictable. If you are 100% predictable, you provide no dopamine. If you are a mystery, if you are sometimes available and sometimes mysterious, you trigger an addictive loop in the other person's brain. Enough theory. Let's talk about tactical magnetism. How do you go from being ignored to the person everyone wants to talk to? Use these 4 steps. Before you even speak, your body is screaming. Use the eyebrow flash, a micro-expression where you quickly raise your eyebrows when you see someone. It's a universal biological signal that says, I am a friend and I am not a threat. Combine it with fronting, pointing your torso, toes, and head directly at the person you're talking to. It signals total presence, which is a rare and magnetic quality in a world full of distracted people. Next time you're in a conversation, notice if you're leaning in. Stop. Try leaning back slightly. By physically creating space, you force the other person to earn your attention. This subconsciously shifts you from the hunter to the prized. Magnetism is about tension. If you only pull, complimenting, being nice, they get bored. If you only push, being mean, being cold, they leave. The secret, compliment them, then playfully challenge them. Example, you have great energy, but I bet you're total troublemaker, aren't you? This creates a spark, a moment of psychological friction that feels like chemistry. Most people are waiting for their turn to talk. A magnetic person listens with the intent to understand, not just reply. Use the 3-second rule. After they finish a sentence, wait 3 seconds before you speak. This creates a sense of gravitas and shows you aren't desperate to fill the silence. Magnetism isn't about having a better face or a bigger bank account. It's about internal autonomy. The moment you stop looking at other people as the judges of your value and start looking at yourself as the one who decides who gets your time, your entire energy shifts. People stop ignoring you, not because you changed your clothes, but because you changed your frequency. You are no longer the ghost in the room. You are the light. If you want to master the rest of the social hacking toolkit, hit that subscribe button. We're diving deep into the psychology of power and influence in our next video. And if you've ever felt invisible, drop a comment below with the word unstoppable. It tells the algorithm you're ready to change, and it tells me you're part of the 1% who actually finished this video. Stay magnetic. See you in the next one.